Hey everybody, and welcome back to Tanner's Favorite Things. I'm Tanner Knight, and today we are unboxing a couple of speakers. If you know anything about me, then you'll know that I am a cabinet and speaker junkie. I currently have 8 cabinets for 4 amps, which might be a bit overkill, but I just love tinkering around with different sounds that different speakers produce, as well as different cabinets, and the combination of different amps with those speakers and cabinets. So let's go ahead and dig into this and see what we've got. Okay, little janky packaging here, but we'll take it out and see what we've got. So, for those of you who ship speakers regularly, I would say that this is the not preferred way, the poor way to send speakers. I think that they probably showed up fine, but we have some bushings in between these bolts with nuts, and I'm just not crazy about this method of shipping. I'm sure that they showed up fine, but I prefer to have speakers in their own individual boxes. It costs a bit more, but hey, I like to do things right. So let's go ahead and take these apart and take a look. All right, these speakers were held together with what looked to be amp feet or cabinet feet and just some lag bolts here, but they showed up okay. What do we have? The Celestion G12T-75 75 watt speaker. It's like a little ball bearing has shown up with this as well. So these speakers are made in China. They are the Celestion made in China version. But I do find that they still have a really high quality sound with the made in China versus the made in England speakers. Their manufacturing processes and techniques are very, very similar, so the sound is very similar. However, you will get the speaker fan who just won't use a Chinese speaker. I'm not that person. I like speakers of all kinds, and these should be fun to pop in my homemade cab and see how they sound. Also, these speakers, the G12T-75, often get maligned as just ice picky or just really high frequency speakers. So we'll see if we can tame that a little bit with this cabinet and get a really quality sound. We're also going to be using the Sennheiser E906 dynamic microphone that I just unboxed in the last video to see how these sound. So we'll do a comparison of just the Sennheiser mic and then one with a room mic, my Audio-Technica 4033 condenser mic. All right, here I am in the new jam space in the new house, and we've got a wall of sound behind us. Like I said, I have a problem with cabinets and speakers. All right, so I've got our Marshall Plexi 1987X Mark II plugged directly into this cabinet, which I built personally with my own 2 hands, with those 2 Celestion 75 watt speakers. Before I crank it up, I do have our Sennheiser E906 microphone plugged right in front of this cabinet here. I think that's our optimal placement, and it is going directly into my Focusrite 2i2 interface that plugs right into the computer. Right now we're just using the Sennheiser mic. Later on we'll add a condenser mic and have a 2 mic setup, but for now let's just hear what she sounds like. So I think these speakers sound great in this cabinet. They got a really nice frequency range. They're not too ice picky in that the highs are not piercing, the mids are nice and full, and the bass, of course, is nice and full as well without being overpowering. Pretty nice. Let's just hear some more clean picking, see how these speakers do with that. Really nice clean sounds. Let's get a little dirt involved. So I just had to troubleshoot an issue with this Marshall amp, and when I switched it over to channel 1, it was just screaming. So I swapped over to the 5150 and I got the same thing. So I learned out that the cable that I was using is no longer working. So a nice little troubleshooting technique If you go between 2 amps and you still have the same poor performance, then you can pretty much isolate the cable and swap that out. So here we are, plugged into the 5150, right into the cabinet, and it sounds like this. Pretty chunky. I love that sound. This is a really great speaker pairing with this particular amplifier, and in fact, this is one of the more popular combinations from the 90s. This is a really common recorded sound, the 5150 into the Celestion G12T-75 speakers. Let's go ahead and drop the D and see what that sounds like. Great metal sound, just kind of doomy, really thick and meaty. Exactly what I look for in a speaker combo. I gotta say, these speakers are actually much quieter now that I swapped out that cable. There's no buzz when I have nothing going on here. Even if I let go of the strings, we get our feedback, but it's nothing having to do with the speakers. It's all in the amp. Alright, let's go ahead and turn on our room condenser mic and add that to the mix. Alright, we've got the Audio-Technica 4033 SC mic plugged in, as well as the Sennheiser E906, and this is what that sounds like. So I love this speaker and amp combination. I think that you'll recognize that it does have a lot of applications, not just metal, but you could get a very viable blues tone and anything in between. At some point in the near future, I'm going to do a shootout between all the speakers that I have, the G12T-75, the V30s, the Black Shadows in the Mesa cab. These are V30s in here, greenbacks in the Avatar cab, creambacks in the EVH cab. So a lot of different options here that we can do a shootout and see what a different speaker selection does to your sound. So we'll be seeing more of these speakers in this cabinet in future videos. I hope you like this content. If you do, feel free to like and subscribe. Hope to see you on the next one. Thanks again for watching.